Wow, what's up, people? What's on the schedule today? I don't know. I can tell you what's not on the schedule today, though. And that's Fed posting. Asmongold.
The low-key skin, and doing so ended up... I used a grok prompt on my stream as a joke title for a new lady low-key skin, and doing so ended up trivializing a very serious issue that affects many women and children on this app. Number one, there shouldn't be any children on the app. Number two, if you don't want your pictures posted like that, then don't post pictures on the internet. Like, I'm old enough to remember back in the day, whenever, if you wanted to post something on the internet, you were always told, never post and pictures of yourself on the internet because weirdos can get them and do stuff with them. This was something that we were told in like 2005. And
yeah, you were told that in regards to like posting like nude pictures or like very like scanty like bikini whatever pictures of people like jerk off to your shit maybe. Now that people would deep fake pornography of you.
And now we're supposed to forget this, and now everybody else has to control themselves, and we're going to bully people around for it. So yes, why are you posting pictures on the internet? It's not that it's even a good thing to have happen, but at the same time, I mean, if you don't want this shit to happen, don't post stuff on the internet. Imagine thinking the OnlyFans girl somehow deserves respect when he sells her butt over $5. I think it's fine if you want to do that. Go ahead.
Okay. Did you ever back from Mercado? No, I think he's too busy cheating on his wife with fucking Lauren De Laguna to respond.
He possessed the love of the people, the fortune, the glory. The roar of the Colosseum was his daily bread. But duty is a jealous mistress. He walked away, descended into the belly of the beast, to serve a higher cause, to fight the wars no one sees. He hunted wolves in the dark. And though the victories were great, they were won in silence. The people cannot cheer for what they cannot see. They did not hunger for whispers or quiet victories. They needed to see the blood. They needed to hear the steel. They starved for the roar. The time for silence is over. The gladiator has returned.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
So shameless. Fuck, it's been so long since I've seen Gladiator. I have a feeling if I were to go back and redig through that plot that Trump and the Republicans are probably going to map on more to the Joaquin Phoenix is the guy, right? Whatever he plays, more than fucking I am Gladius Maximus Glaximus whatever, and you killed my wife and daughter and I'm going to kill you. Probably more so, would be my guess.
Of best days today, but I want to talk about the FBI's role in especially transporting the leader of Venezuela.
Hey, it's great to be with you this morning, and thanks so
Oh no. Are we hearing that? Is there a producer bleed into the audio for the live show? Is that what we're hearing? Hold on.
Best days today, but I want to talk about the FBI's role in especially transporting the leader of Venezuela.
Hey, it's great to be with you this morning, and thanks so much. Yes, the FBI's Critical Incident Response Group, CIRG, runs our tactical, aviation, and specialized operation units to include our hostage rescue team. And thankfully, this mission, orchestrated by President Trump, his courageous, decisive decision to lead us through this with the Department of War and our intelligence community, saw mission success because every component of this operation, every link in this chain was flawlessly executed by the experts in the intelligence community and law enforcement and military sectors, and we were proud to be a part of it.
Best days today.
Can I also just say that, like, one thing I've been talking about recently is I keep saying, people know this, you understand this is intuitive, but for some reason the political climate is shutting your brain down. But like, you understand that this thing that you're saying, you would never feel this way. You intuitively understand how dumb and bad this is. For the party of people who are so cruel and mean and made fun of the way trans women looked and made fun of minorities and everything else, these people really fucking turned it up and came together when it came time to be the DEI party, to support people that looked weird, to support people that sound like this and never make fun of their voice. Or when it came time to support people with weird names like Vivek Ramaswamy, who were from other countries. Like, they came together in the most DEI woke SJWA possible to protect all of the peculiarities about their people. So they can do it. It's in there. They have the ability to do it.
Out of him. Washington, D.C. is the safest city right now in the United States. Thank you very much, everybody.
If you had to sum up Operation Absolute Resolve, would you say that it was about oil or it was about regime change?
It's about peace on Earth.
Oh.
How is it peace
My
on
bad.
Earth?
Peace on Earth. We got to have peace. It's our hemisphere. The Monroe Doctrine was very important when it was done, and other presidents, a lot of them.
Who taught him this shit? Where did he pick this up recently from?
They lost.
What is this even? What is the I would have to go back and check more. It wasn't the Monroe Doctrine basically more telling the European powers, like, hey, don't come over here anymore. We're all going to chill over here. Don't come over here and do weird shit, okay? Stay over there. Was the Monroe Doctrine, we as America have the right to control every single country in the rest of these two continents. Suck my dick. But maybe that's more during the Cold War, I guess. Maybe that's kind of how it got utilized more. Well, it's not like at that point the European powers could fucking do anything. I don't know. I don't know who taught him this. Yeah, it must have been a Putin thing. This guy shouldn't be talking to Putin alone, okay? Somebody needs to babysit this guy.
A lot of them. They lost sight of it. I didn't. I didn't lose sight. But it really is. It's peace on Earth. Thank you very much.
Mr. President.
Out of them. Washington, D.C.
Oh, I read all like 2 minutes on that the Bush senior Panama thing, because a few of the Asmongoids were bringing that up. Apparently, Panama had declared war on us, and I think Bush got congressional approval before going in and doing that. So that's the comparison there was unbelievably fucking stupid. This is immediately disqualified. I don't know what to say. I don't like.
Even then, before the operation took place,
Yes.
Did you maybe tip them off at all?
Before and after. And they want to go in, and they're going to do a great job for the people of Venezuela. And they're going to represent us well.
So is he telling oil companies that he's going in before he told Congress or anybody else? He just. Yeah, like whenever you hear leftists talking about how evil and kooky and crazy they think America was, this is like to a leftist, every old president was what Donald Trump is right now. Fair warning, Connor is going to approach this event like an autistic both sides Andy he is. Why are you worrying about Connor? Am I supposed to talk to him today or something? Where did that come from? Hutch watching your VOD on Venezuela. He says you're a pussy for doing peaceful lobbies because a lot of credit and support for the political takes and shit. I have my demon cues, and sometimes I have my peaceful cues, okay? Fuck him. He's just mad because he's got 100K in the bank, I bet. What's his... Hold on, where is he?
Was prosecuted.
Mr. Ultra Wide. Mr. Ultra Wide. I know he's broke. I know he's a brokian game. I know he is. 100% I know he is. America has conducted numerous regime changes like this. No? Or am I misinformed? Yeah, but at least... Listen, you can talk about whether they were good or bad, but at least they were, like, for America. And we can say, like, it's not good to do bad things for the United States of America at the cost to other countries. And I would say that that's true. We shouldn't do that. But, like, we were in the middle of a Cold War. We had an adversary that was doing the same. And this was ostensibly for the benefit of the entire United States, whereas Trump is literally just doing all this shit. Yeah, I saw that retirement thing from Hegseth too. Bruh. What?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hello. I had a couple of questions for you, if you have some time to spare.
Go for it.
Okay, so my first question is just a little bit more of a wholesome question. It's an experience I had. Okay, so I tutor a lot of people part-time, okay? And I was tutoring this one kid, and he had to write an essay about some skills that he learned over the year, okay? And one of the things he did was he was captain of the soccer team, right? And so I said, okay, you were captain of the soccer team, you know, you developed a lot of leadership skills, you interacted with different types of people. And I said you worked with a diverse, you know, you had to captain a diverse range of players, right? And he's in like grade 10. And he just immediately got triggered at the word diverse and said, no, I'm not using it. I'm not putting that in my presentation. So I'm just kind of wondering, what do you do in a situation like that when they've been sort of mind bent into being triggered at these words? You use a different word. You
How old is he?
Like, he's like 14.
Did he go through puberty super early? Are you pretty big compared to him, or?
Well, what do you mean by big compared to him? Like
if you smacked the shit out of him, could he do anything about it?
Well, I'd probably go to fucking
just
jail.
smack the shit out of him. I mean, it should start with people like you. You should not smacking the shit out of him. But like, I think the biggest problem that with liberals, when liberals or progressives talk about diversity, is they always talk about it like it's a fucking handicap or like a punishment or like an obligation. And they don't see it as like an opportunity. And I think the United States of America has a lot of really cool shit in it. And we've done a lot of cool shit because of the diversity in this country. When you speak about it, just like speak about it try to speak about it in a cool way. I think there's a lot here that we wouldn't have otherwise. So like, if he feels like it's a cringe word or whatever, like ask him why he thinks that, and then try to like drill down into, you know, oh, well, yeah, I agree that you know, you can find a common ground where there is common ground, because a lot of progressives and a lot of, you know, liberal types do use it in a very cucky, cringe way. But I mean, if he has the experience, that's the hard part. He has all the difficult to do stuff. Now you just have to like assign word and concept to it. And then, yeah, I think you should, that would be my, I don't know exactly.
It happens a lot. And then my second question is, I was just kind of curious, after a lot of the Epstein stuff came out, I know before all of the Epstein files and whatever, and, you know, before Trump was really pushing against them being released, you didn't really care too much for the Epstein stuff. You thought a lot of it was pretty fake.
Mm-hmm.
But even after all of this is happening, is that still your stance? You just think it's all like just a nothing burger, or?
So my stance from the very beginning, and I don't think it's changed yet, is I doubt that Trump did anything super heinous or whatever. I think that what you have is a whole bunch of investigation stuff that links Epstein to a whole bunch of people. And when I say links, I just mean that people knew of him or went to parties with him or did whatever. Not that they did anything necessarily bad. And that if all of that came out, it would kind of look bad on a lot of people. And probably especially Trump, because Trump is a retard and talks nicely to everybody and wants to be friends with everybody and liked by everybody. And it wouldn't surprise me if he's made, inappropriate or stupid comments related to young girls or knew by a woman or whatever with Epstein. I just don't think that there's this. That's my position.
But when you see those photos of Bill Clinton, how do you kind of rationalize that in your head? What do you think it is, more or less? Like just
of them in a hot tub?
Yeah, hanging out with Epstein as many times as he did.
How many times did he hang out with Epstein?
It was in dozens, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I just, with the fact that like Epstein was a billionaire duder who I think it seems like everybody was fucking friends with him. There was I feel like there was a reel I saw on Instagram a while ago where it was like the second you're a celebrity or you've made your first like $10 million is like, I want to go hang out with Epstein, because apparently this guy has pictures with fucking every single celebrity and politician ever. But yeah, I mean, I just don't.
Really?
What?
It said 26 to 27 times between 2002 and 2003. Was he really that popular back then?
Wait, who? Who hung out with him?
According to flight log, Bill Clinton, 26 to 27 times between 2002 and 2003.
Oh, that seems like a lot. But I mean, if there was anything improper or crazy happening, I feel like it would have come up in an investigation. No, that sounds way too high. Also, but where are you getting that number from? I'm curious. Don't make me go look it up. And it's totally wrong.
Just getting it from Wikipedia.
Oh, I don't know if it's on the wiki then. Wait, what does it say? Read me the sentence.
So it says trips made in connection with Clinton Foundation Network, international charity related flights with staff and Secret Service on board.
Trips made, Epstein trips made or Clinton trips made? Because I know there was a thing at one point where people were talking about how many times Clinton had gone to the island. And I think the actual answer to that was 0. And then people brought up all of the, I think it was 0. And then people brought up all of the, what you're pointing to now, but that's just flight logs showing Clinton used his plane. And I think most of those, and I think there was something where it was like 26 different trips, but it was actually like 6 to 7 different trips, not the meme. But it was like every layover they counted because it has like produced individual flight logs or whatever. If we're reading the same thing or thinking about the same thing, I think that's what came from that. Not to say I know 100% that Bill Clinton didn't do anything. I just don't think any of that is solid evidence of it.
Yeah, because he did also visit the White House. Okay, I was just wondering if your opinion on it changed, because he used to do those debate and calls and stuff of the whole Epstein thing. And
I don't think anything is coming. My position is still the same. Nothing I don't think is going to come from these files that's like a smoking gun for anything. I don't think anything is going to happen like that. I think there's just going to be names.
I mean, even if it does, I don't think people are going to care anyway at this point. I think.
Well, I don't know.
A lot of people think stuff did happen, but I mean, they just kind of accepted it, right? Or at least his supporters wouldn't care, or at least they did. So
sure.
All right, those are my 2 questions. Thanks for your time.
Oh, okay. Have fun. Be careful.
Thanks.
I think it's a teacher guy who's called in before. That guy, a hockey player, I feel like he shitposts the most retarded questions in chat constantly. That conversation is very surprising to me right now, but okay. What do you want? What are you doing in that chat room, in that voice channel?
Oh shit. Yo, what's up, bro?
Hi.
1 second. It's been a while. I've been watching you and Asmongold for a very long time.
Oh boy.
I used to watch you. Yeah, I used to watch you for 5 years ago. And then I started again. But then, when I started again, there was all these side characters and drama and all that slop. So I wasn't too interested.
Okay.
Anyways, I wanted to debate you about the gaming side of the drama, not the politics. I think Asmongold, in terms of politics, he doesn't really have it, to be honest. He's gone too far to the right side.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of gaming, I think there's a bit of misunderstanding, and maybe bad faith from you, but I'm not sure. I think you're smarter than that.
Thanks.
Because I feel like you should know. No, I mean, I feel like you know what he means, but maybe you're going bad faith.
Oh.
That's what I mean.
Never mind that.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
because so here's the thing. he really doesn't like getting what's the word? Talked down to, or moral grandized. First of all, I'm not American. I'm Middle Eastern. I live in Lebanon.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I'm probably like less than 1%. Also, I have the opposite view of what most people think Lebanese people have of Israel. So, yeah.
What does that mean? I don't even know what the standard view. Wait, are you from Beirut or?
No, North Beirut.
Okay.
North. I'm like really close to the American embassy.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to ask something? Yeah. Okay. So about the games, his issue, even though he phrased it very like in a retarded way, his issue is like people coming into his games that are normally one way and then like changed to becoming like, you know, very woke, and like the story is changed, like stuff hand fist, like I don't know the word to say it, like shoehorned into it, like black people, whatever. Like World of Warcraft, right? We have one of the characters. He's a mage, and now he's floating on a wheel. What's it called? On a wheelchair. You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, it's so retarded.
Okay.
Like, yeah, they're like adding more accessibility to these stuff, but it's in a very retarded way. Like, that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about like women getting into gaming and making their own games. He said that at some point, but among all his other garbage that he said, you might have thought that he's talking about like women getting into gaming generally and making their own games. I don't think he cares about that. He's just getting into media that he is already established with already known IPs, and then getting changed into it's becoming more woke and PC and that stuff. That's the issue.
So like here, I guess this is my. Okay, there's a lot of different aspects of this. So let me start with this word first. So let me say a thing and then yeah. So I feel like it is the nature of all things as they become more popular and appeal to more audiences that they get kind of like generic slopped or watered down a bit. So like a game might come out that everybody likes, it's got really hardcore mechanics, and then to make it appeal to more and more people, you know, you kind of you change things, you make it more accessible, you make you have pop-ups that help people keep track of their shit or whatever. Like stuff like this happens, and I feel like stories or characters and stories.
Yeah, but that's kind of like generic. That's like I don't think people care about that because it's not like politically driven, right?
Well, sure.
Not,
so
I
understand
agenda behind it.
Well, maybe not. You could make it that way.
That's the difference, because it feels like someone.
Well, no, it could be political. People are choosing not to. If I was a conservative, because I'm not a retard, like I could make all of this very easily political. Like if I wanted to, I could come in and talk about how the Western world is importing more people from cultures or races that are intrinsically just lower IQ, and even if we get the smart ones, they're going to regress to a low IQ mean. But in order to sell video games to these people that have them play and to get more capitalism slop from them, you have to make games more accessible to retarded people, because these types of people will never be as high IQ as the original, like, gated high IQ white players that were doing these games originally.
I don't think anyone thinks about it that way. What?
I understand why you might think that. I don't have to argue now, but like Asmongold's audience is like a stone's throw from that position on basically every single subject related to race or Western society. Like I just heard Asmon yesterday give I'm not calling him a neo-Nazi. I know it's triggering to say that, but there's a very, I wish there was another word for it, because when I say that word, you guys lose your fucking mind. But there's this like neo-Nazi idea that one of the reasons why the West has fallen is because women were given the right to vote, and women who belong in the household don't have the mind for leadership or politics like men do, and that women's empathetic responses to things, which are good when they're in the household taking care of children, are bad when they're aimed politically, because women will engage in this concept of suicidal empathy where they vote for the destruction of their own societies. That's a very like neo-Nazi-esque talking point. And I heard Asmongold, whether he's aware that it is or isn't, from that vein of thought, he gave that take basically verbatim yesterday. So like the race realist stuff and everything else, if you wanted to make it political, you could. I'm just, okay, but like backing up from all of that, I'm just saying that stuff gets kind of water slopped down, or whatever you could say. I think it happens with mechanics. I don't think story is any different. We start to see the inclusion of more types of people, more races, more people in wheelchairs, or whatever. I think the only thing that matters at the end of the day. Or go ahead. Well, yeah, you can interject if you want.
The thing is, if it's more races, no one cares. If they added like ogres or whatever, or aliens, no one really cares. It's just the way they're added. Like making, like, what's it called? In Dragon Age, the last game, it was like so focused on trans issues and like this I don't know what the fuck her gender is. Like the character is like the whole focus. That's why the game was ruined, right? Because like they tried to focus so much on the political issues that they lost like track of the whole game. Like they lost the big picture.
Sure.
That's
Okay, so like so here's
that's why Asmongold came into politics.
Yeah, I'm aware of the Gamergate stuff and everything. Yeah. So here's the second thing. Have you seen Well, yeah, I guess actually, have you played Dragon Age?
Yeah, I played Origin. Origin was one of the best games, and I played the one after it, and I think I tried the one after that, and I didn't get too far into it.
So the one with all the trans stuff or whatever, have you played that one?
No. I tried. I think I tried, but like, yeah, no.
Okay, well, I feel like it's interesting.
I got enough from it.
It's very interesting to have a very strong opinion on it then, but regardless, okay. Have you? Okay.
I don't need to be a doctor to know if someone is injured or what. I mean,
wait.
You know this, right? I think you don't need to be a doctor to feel to know that someone is injured if their leg is broken. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't.
Oh, sure. As in, like, you don't need to. Yeah, maybe, but I would reserve like a serious judgment for anything if I haven't like. This is why I don't. Well, a little bit more over the past couple of months, I guess, because I played this on Graders game and Expedition 33. But generally, I wouldn't speak heavily on modern gaming because I just don't play a lot of modern games. I play autistic games like Factorio and Oxygen Not Included and shit.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but it is interesting. A lot of people have really strong opinions on games like The Last of Us Part 2 or the Dragon Age stuff or whatever else who don't play those games. Is interesting to me sometimes. Feels a little bit like the same accusations that were made against the feminists who came in with strong opinions about games, and everybody claimed that they didn't play them enough to have those opinions. But
I've seen way more than enough. Like, I've seen hours upon hours. Like even the way they added that person, that trans woman or whatever. Just the fact that they added her and made her such a big character alone drives me away from it. Like, I don't care if I'm not gonna interact with her. The way they added her, and she's a main character, it's alone to drive me off, right? And also one more thing. So Asmongold had a thing. So both of you guys, you and Asmongold, have like this ego. I think you to a lesser degree. Asmongold completely refuses to be wrong, no matter how wrong he is. So, but the thing is that forces him to push back extremely hard. So if you and sometimes he doubles down on things that he usually wouldn't double down on. So that's let's say like you called him like let's say you
no, don't worry. I have an old friend of the stream that used to do this. Don't worry, I know what you mean. Wait, can I back up real quick on the on this character adding thing? Okay, because final just quick question. Have you seen all of the Ghostbusters movies? Like 3 or 4 of them, or at least like 1, 2, and then the all girl one?
I think the first one and maybe the one that they remade, but that's it.
Okay, so there's this...
No, I didn't watch the girl one. No.
Okay. So there's this like weird phenomenon that happens when I think minorities get cast into anything, which is if the media is bad, people immediately blame the minority addition to it. But I think that, and I'm sure Asmongold has said this, and I'm sure you believe this, there are ways to add minority characters to games that don't feel like ham-fisted and that don't feel cringe and like it works well with the world and everything, right? Like... I imagine you...
I understand that, but the problem is like they could have made their own IP, right? But this is an established IP. Like, I don't care about Ghostbusters.
Well, but nobody makes their own IP, right? Nobody makes like everything is like a rehash because gamers and media enjoyers in general are just can't handle new stuff. So
there's a lot. No, but the Expedition 33 is a new IP. Like, there's a lot of you can make new stuff, and they'd be
yeah,
good.
But Expedition 33, that's like exceptional, and people recognize it's exceptional because it's its new IP, right? What does Asmongold play? World of Warcraft is literally like an infinity game that people have been playing for 2 decades, maybe?
I mean, he basically stopped playing the game because,
Wait, 2027. Oh my god, almost 3 decades? Well, I don't know when it came out. But like, I mean, like, I'm just saying that people consume like spin-offs and everything else. Like, that's just kind of like par for the course. But what I'm saying is that like, there's this phenomenon that happens where if something is ruined or messed up and there aren't minority characters added to it, people just say like, oh, well, they ruined this or they messed this up. But as soon as like minority characters are involved, people pretend that it was ruined just because there was like a minority character added.
Yeah, I understand. It's easy. It's like they're like the first
scapegoating a little bit.
Exactly. It's the same thing happened to Jews, basically.
Sure.
They always blame them for the smallest thing.
True. Did you ever play any of the StarCraft games?
Yeah. I played them. I played them mainly for the missions because I didn't. So the thing is, here in Lebanon, everything like where I grew up, people just bought crack games. So we didn't really pay for subscription.
Sure.
So I got a credit cracked and just played for the missions. But I really love strategy games. Like right now, me and my friends we're playing Journal Zero Hour, and each person like lives in a like that game is from 2002 or 2003.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, did you play through all the StarCraft story, like in StarCraft, Brood War, and then StarCraft 2?
Yep.
Okay. So okay. Because like in my opinion, I think that that's a great example of a story that got, I would say, heavily watered down and kind of destroyed. But I don't think they did it with any woke stuff. They were trying to make it more like, it felt more kind of like Hollywood, or at least in my recollection, like StarCraft and Brood War were very like kind of gritty, dark.
Yeah.
Like Kerrigan was like a piece of shit, and then in like StarCraft 2, like Kerrigan and Jim Raynor just became like a Hollywood trope love story of like love long lost and them refinding each other, and it was like they're all working together like best friends and anime energy, and so I feel
like there's something's changed with Blizzard, like in the
sure,
company.
But I'm just saying like that's an example of like, you know, I kind of understand why they did it, right? It's probably got more appeal, things like love stories or happy endings or friends working together is like a broader appeal thing. But like nobody would blame that necessarily on minorities. It's just like stuff becomes like broader in appeal and everything. And I think the same thing can happen when you include, you know, minorities or whatever else too. And it doesn't always have to be bad. Like you can be fine. Like you can include those types of characters without it being a negative addition. So I don't think that they should avoid doing it. It's just sometimes they fuck up or sometimes it sucks. And sometimes things feel preachy or ham-fisted. But I don't think it can just be blamed on just the minority stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I really don't care. Like if they add minorities, I don't care. But the thing is, the way they make the whole focus around them. Right? Like the story in World of Warcraft is about like, it's fucking monsters fighting each other, orcs and whatever. And then now it's like about gay furry dragons and like shit like that. The whole story, it changed, you know? It's obvious the political leaning of the people that created WoW now, that are working on retail.
Okay, so as somebody that's enjoyed a decent amount of Blizzard games, has never played World of Warcraft, but I've watched like cinematics and stuff. Was World of Warcraft ever just about like orcs and people fighting? I feel like that's always been like a largely character-driven, heroic type of adventure story thing with like different people leading different factions who had like relationships and not like romantic or whatever, but like it was really just a battle game with people killing each other.
Yeah, basically that, and the story was like basically non-existent. Like the main character in the earlier games was well, he didn't exist, but like from Warcraft, it was Arthas. Right, it was like the king that leads the undead army. So it was like manly men fighting each other, monsters, stuff like that. The story wasn't the best, to be honest. Like throughout all of Warcraft, but then I think they ran out of ideas. They kept reviving dead characters, and then now all the furry stuff. It's a different game. It's a completely different game.
Okay, I don't have the perspective, but. I just haven't played them enough, so I can't really say.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I feel like Asmongold is not explaining himself well, but at the same time, I feel like maybe that he's not explaining himself well, but at the same time, so you're taking it bad faith. That's what I'm saying.
Well, but
like,
the issue,
he's not saying.
Well, the issue is that like the way the solutions that you suggest can be indicative of like how you're viewing a problem. I think, right? Like. There are ways to suggest solutions where you can be like, I think that this story could have been done better. I think that, you know, I think this was like sloppy or ham-fisted. I think that this is a thing that, you know, didn't need to be in this media or whatever. But when it just comes out as like women and minorities and woke people are ruining everything, it's like
when it's forced in a illogical way. Yeah, like
but it's not. But it's not limited. It's not just women and minorities. You have to understand. I don't know what it's like in Lebanon, okay, but in the United States of America, okay, the people that are making video games and doing stories, all of these people have been gay and woke and trans and septum piercings and dyed hair forever. Like that's who's doing it, right? It was never like George Bush is the one doing the mock-ups and Reagan is doing the story for Dungeons and Dragons. Like it's always been the gayest, wokest sect of American society doing it. Like that hasn't changed, you know.
I feel it's been a mix because I like the original nerds that created like Warcraft and stuff like that. I don't think there's a lot of like I have nothing against gay people, but I don't. They're like there's such a minority. I myself I'm bi, but like I think the people that created like Warcraft, the original World of Warcraft, they were like a bunch of like fat people. You know, those Mountain Dew Cheetos kind of guy. I don't see them as a the gay type or whatever, or like very open-minded. I don't think they cared about politics. That's the main issue. I don't think they cared about politics back then, but now everything is about politics. Everything is about.
I think so. Okay. Well, here, let me we'll tackle with this. So, just my first point was just that like the people who are making games, who have been designing games, like through all of history, these people who work in art are typically always kind of like the outcast people of society, right? Even historically, when it comes to musicians and all of that, like, even in playwrights and like Shakespeare and Beethoven, all these guys, like musicians and all these people have always been kind of seen as kind of like weirdo outsiders. Has always been the case. I agree with you that things
but these are nerds.
Sure.
They're not like the artsy type. They're like the nerdy type, right?
They're like the nerdy type. They're not like, the artsy type. Well, for people that work in video games, I think they were. Well, I mean, it depends. Like if you're talking about like the literal artists or the story writers or people, whatever. Like these people are obviously somewhat artsy type. For people that are nerdy and wanted to get into game design and everything, I think these people had to have like a particular passion for video game tier stuff, because like if you're really good at programming or you're really good at software design and you want to make a lot of money, I think you're not going into video games, because it was kind of the shitty world of gaming. I don't know how much that's changed today.
Now it is. Obviously it's changed. I feel like it was way better before, right?
No, it was always like crunch times and like grinding through workers and everything. Like I feel like it was always a passion project when you listen to people that worked in the industry. It's probably better today than it was in the past, but it still probably is still harsh today. Okay, but all right. So that aside, I agree with you in terms of things have gotten like more political or whatever, or it seems like things have gotten more political. But I feel like so there's this concept of like, when we say a thing is not political, I think what's often happening, and this feels weird, okay, but when things aren't political, what's happening is that it's really just reinforcing the status quo. And if you're part of that status quo, it doesn't really feel political because you're used to seeing yourself everywhere. So like I think that like the most common example of this is if you're playing a video game and you walk into like a teacher's room or whatever, and on the teacher's bookshelf there's a picture of like a husband and a wife. You don't even think about it. It's whatever. But if there was a picture of like a husband and a husband, there's going to be like 52 YouTube videos on that. Why does he have to be gay? And before it wasn't political, but now that he's gay, now it is political. But why? Like arguably both are kind of doing the same thing. They're showing a relationship, but one of them is kind of like a status quo relationship and the other one is a non-status quo relationship. And then there's this feeling of like, well, if it's not going to be status quo, it needs to be justified, even though in the real world it doesn't really work that way, right? Like it's not like people are gay for political reasons. They just are.
Yeah, you're right. But I think before, like if they had that character, that gay character, like before in media or games or whatever, like 20 years ago, I don't think people cared as much as they do now. Like now, because of all this agenda and political leaning, people are suspicious, right? Before, I don't think people were as suspicious because it was like, okay, they added the gay character. Now, it's like, why did they add a gay character? It's worse. I understand. You're right, but at the same time, it's because of this like bigger thing that's happening.
Yeah. So like, okay. This is what I'm trying to emphasize. I don't know if I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard, okay? I don't think we even disagree that much, okay? And my frustration is not even with you. It's with everybody else, okay? I don't necessarily disagree with you in that sometimes things are ham-fisted and really cringe. In my opinion, I think I think everybody should have been assassinated in a video game that was part of this. Did you see, was it Riot Games that made an all-women's team of like 5 women and promoted them, and all 5 of them were trans women? Do you remember this?
Wait, I know there was an all-women game, but I think they were like Vey something.
No, it was there was some like it was either a team or it was like a promoting like women gamers thing or something. It's not Sirens, guys. It's way after this. This is like a recent thing, I think, within the last year or two. And it was something where it was like, we're celebrating like all of the top women in this thing, and it was like 4 or 5 women, and all of them were trans women. Was it Magic the Gathering?
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
All I know is that like the microsecond I saw that, I was like, this is the most, you are setting all of these people up for so much hate, and it looks so bad, and it's so fucking stupid. I don't know why the fuck it's just so dumb when that happens. So like, sometimes people do shit like that, and I'm like, you're fucking retarded. And sometimes there are like, it used to be worse. We don't do the woman thing as much in mainstream media now, maybe in video games, but like it used to be where like every time a woman was in a game and did something, or like in a movie did something, she was like, well, I can do it just as good as you, even though I'm a woman, ha. And I was like, okay, I get it, bro. Like we got it. Can we go to the story now? And that shit is cringe. But my issue is that it feels like something happens in the brain where when somebody does something cringe, rather than people being like, hey, that's cringe, like, can we not do that? People are like, well, I'm going to be cringe in the exact opposite direction. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I think in StarCraft, Kerrigan was a woman, but like, the story was good. The characters were good. Nobody's thinking like, well, why can a woman walk around with a gun that big and snipe just as well as a man? And, you know, why it is the Queen of Blades. It couldn't have been a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because the story and everything was good. But when things get like cringe, I just wish that people could be like, this is cringe and this like sucked. And maybe it was because, and sometimes it sucked maybe because they're trying to ham fist like a more woke storyline. Like I think that happens sometimes. I wish I know I used to have a ton of those. Yeah, but like that doesn't mean we have to get rid of like all woke for media needs to go and all, because like you said, like Expedition 33 I think was a really good game, and that was like I think 3/5 of your party in that game are women, but you don't really think about it much. Yeah, so I guess.
But at the same time, they're French. I don't know. I don't feel like they're gonna be pushing as much as American people. I feel like American like games and media and all the stuff are way more political than in other places.
I mean, I agree. I think in America we turn everything up to 11, but we're also kind of like leading when it comes to social stuff as well, for better or for worse. Like I think America kind of pushes the world forward there. So, you know, we're not only at the forefront of things like trans rights or whatever, we're also the forefront, I think, of things of like giving black people or minorities representation in media. And while I guess in some ways that people do it now with trans people, you know, so they might think, well, this is always cringe or horrible. I mean, arguably America's one of our most successful exports is hip hop music and, you know, black culture. And a lot of that was because I think like America was, you know, writers and people in media were big to try to platform these ideas because they were trying to be more inclusive to people, and a lot of it ended up being wildly successful. So I think there are upsides to it, but just sometimes people fuck up and it's cringe. And I agree that it's cringe and it should be called out. But then when people do cringe shit and people are like, well, this is why all of them need to go, I'm like, okay, well, really, is that really the response? And I feel like Asmongold falls into that latter camp too much.
He does. But the thing is, he's pushing back. It's like the pendulum, right? It's like it's the left pushed him so far back, so much woke everywhere he goes. Like he obviously loves what's it called, the Three Kings, the Lord of the Rings. He obviously loves the Lord of the Rings. You've seen what happens with it, like the series and stuff. Like everything he liked, right? I understand him, because everything he liked became like gentrified, right? Like more.
Yeah, but it could just be like shit, right? Like the first Lord of the Rings had that fucking like, and the one issue I have today is I'm curious if you were to rerun some of this media, people feel the same way. Remember when the Nazgul dude was like, oh, I will not be defeated by any man, and she takes her helmet off and she's like, well, I am no man, and she stabs him. Like I feel like if that were to happen today, I feel like people like Asmongold would make videos about how cringe and horrible it was, and it's like, but it's not really.
You're right, but that's what I'm saying. It's because of the political, like the current political landscape. Like that's what I'm saying. If it happened before, like anything that was like gay or whatever or female that happened before, people didn't really care as much because there wasn't this like political agenda behind it. Now there is.
But I think it's also because of you talk about the pendulum. Like, isn't that kind of like a sad way to exist? I don't want to be a pendulum. Like, I would rather have an opinion.
No, but
and when people are cringe on some things, like I was like, oh, this is cringe. Like I feel like to say you're a pendulum is to like admit
that's how the whole world works, though. When you get pushed and pushed and pushed, you're just gonna push back like in a much harder way.
You don't have to, though. No, you don't have to be reactionary to everything.
I mean, yeah, you don't have to, but that's like being more than human. That's like being not a normal person.
Not a normal. What about like what about? I agree, most normal people. But what about a person who gets paid millions or tens of millions of dollars a year to have an opinion about things?
Do you see how he lives? I don't think Asmongold is different now than he was like 20 years ago. I honestly don't think so.
Isn't that a character failing on his part then? Like, shouldn't you be?
I don't think he cares. The thing is, he's popular.
That's fine if he doesn't care, and some people don't care if they rape and pillage and murder or exploit or whatever the fuck else. But like, shouldn't he? Isn't that like a character failing? Like, if you know that you're influencing a whole bunch of people that are watching you. Like, even though, do you know? Are you aware that for a pendulum, you've seen in like physics classrooms how that works, right? That if you drop a pendulum and you don't push any more behind it, it's only going to come back as far as you dropped it, right? Like it literally, like pendulum activity is dictated 100% by the starting position of the first fall. So you're defining your entirety of a view on something based on how unhinged or fucked up the other side was. Isn't that like almost an outright admission that you're letting the other side control your feelings and emotions? You're just on the other side of it. It just seems like a really bad position to be in.
There's I don't know if there's a, what's it called? There's this tit for tat thing where they made this game where they try to find the best outcome, like the winning outcome. If you give tit, you've said this before, by the way, you mentioned it, like tit for tat, tit for tat, tat. Yeah, whatever. In the end, they found out tit for tat is the one that works best. Like you have to tit for tat. You can't be nice.
Yeah, but I don't think we're
You have
talking.
to
This
always-
isn't like a tit for. I don't think this is a tit for tat situation of like they put too many
It
women
is,
in
'cause,
media.
like, they ruined his whole media, like the thing that he enjoys. Like,
But they
everything he enjoys
didn't.
is, like,
but wait,
literally
that's not true though. No,
What do you mean? Like,
there are probably
they
more
ruined World
good
of Warcraft,
games,
they
more
ruined
good movies.
Lord
There are
of the
more.
Rings.
There are so many things that are out today for consumption. I don't think that it's all
but
like.
we're not talking about new IPs. We're talking about the established ones being like gentrified. We're not talking about the newer ones.
Then
No one
don't.
cares
Then
if they-
don't. Then watch it. Nobody's forcing you to.
Which one?
Any of it. I think the first
No,
three
but-
Lord of the Rings were some of the best movies ever made. I didn't even watch the fucking Hobbit. That shit looks stupid as fuck to me. Or any of the new shit. The new series looked terrible to me. But I just don't watch it. But
Yeah, but it's in the name. They took the IP instead of them making something better. Like also in The Witcher happened the same thing. Like instead of they could have made a different fucking series. Why did they have to take the Lord of the Rings IP? Like,
why? Because everybody likes Lord of the Rings.
no, but the people that like Lord of the Rings won't like this new garbage. That's what
Then
I'm
they
saying.
don't have to
Like,
watch it. I don't know. Blame capitalism at that point then, right?
You can't say don't have to watch it. It has the name. People are gonna watch it and then they're gonna be annoyed. They're not gonna be like, okay, I won't watch it ever. They're gonna watch it before they know it's shit.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just don't know what you want me to say because like IP whatever the fuck, there's a word I'm looking for, but like people will reuse IPs to death in media because it's a safe investment. That's like I'm not trying to be a fucking wokey. I'm very capitalist. Okay, I hate socialism, but like this is a feature of capitalism. If I have $10 million
this is, like,
that I want to invest in
thing.
something,
If you're going for the safe thing, expect the pushback. Like if they're going for the safe thing, there has going to be pushback. If they have to go for the risk.
Well, I mean, if we want to play the, and I don't want to like, I don't think it's necessarily good for the conversation to go this way with culturally, but like if you want to play that way, then that means that the conservatives and everybody, like the Asmon tier people, they've completely lost, and they have no voice anymore. Because despite what the warning was, despite the whole go woke, go broke,
You cut off.
What? This? I don't know what these guys are fucking talking about in here. Sorry. Despite what like conservatives were saying for so long about go woke, go broke, and all this other stupid shit, the reality is that like all of the things that got wokeified and diversified and all that, all of those things are massively performing. Like they make a fuck ton of money, and everybody goes and watches this shit. Well, it's true. It is. That argument was lost so long ago. It is. It's true. Like
there's a lot of things that failed, like The Witcher, the last seasons, the Lord of the Rings that I'm talking about. Like World of Warcraft is garbage now. That thing that went broke, got broke. I mean, went woke, got broke. No one say.
Wait, but why did? Because of? Is The Witcher bad because it went woke?
Pretty much, yeah. They made you played The Witcher 3, by the way, or any of them? Okay, so they made Ciri the main character. It's like the Geralt is no longer the main character. Like Ciri is the main character, but later on in the books, not right away. They made the whole thing about Ciri.
Wait. Are we talking about a TV show or a video game?
No, obviously the TV show. No, the video game is good.
Isn't the next video game going to have Ciri as the main character as well? Or am I wrong on that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's later on. Obviously, it's going to be she's going to be the main character. They said that before. That the first 3 games were about The Witcher, were about Geralt. But now in the movies, in the series, it's like basically right away, like from the second season, it's like her the main character. Like the first season was like 50-50. The second season, her the main character. Third season, there's a reason the main actor left because he saw in the background what's happening.
That it was becoming wokeified, or that he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I wish I feel like if I watched this, I feel like this would not be the take I would come to. Like Ciri is like one of the most important people in the universe. I don't know if making a show around her is necessarily a bad choice. Are you sure it's not just like a bad?
Right away.
Are you sure it's not just like a bad show?
I mean, how would I? It's bad because they made.
Wait, you were just saying, how would I know? Did you watch all of Game of Thrones? I watched all of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
I think that Game of Thrones but Game of Thrones didn't get. It's not because it got wokeified. It just fucking sucked.
Game of Thrones sucked because they didn't have a story. They just went on their own. Also, this happened. Game of Thrones kind of happened before this like woke stuff, no?
Well, but Game of Thrones was written by a hyper fucking woke, hyper feminazi dude. George R.R. Martin is like a crazy ultra feminist guy. Like, and it even shows in the early parts of the show and in the books. Supposedly, I haven't read the books, but like Daenerys, your fucking queen, the most plot armor person in the world, is a fucking woman. You've got Yara, who's a fucking woman. You've got Arya, who's like this faceless fucking crazy is a fucking woman. Like George R. R. Martin is like a massive feminist dude. Like all of your red witches and all these people are women. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but they were all in the normal constraints. They were all in the normal constraints of women. What's her name? The one with the white hair. She's like, okay, she's a female, but she controlled dragons. She wasn't strong herself, right? She's not physically strong. It's not like they can do everything.
Who was arguably one of the strongest fighters in the universe? Was literally Brienne of Tarth. No.
Yeah, she has strength, but she's not
one of the careful, because she beat the Hound 1-on-1. That's like one of the strongest in-universe people at that point.
But she's not a Jane Doe, right? She's not like a strong and smart and charismatic. She's just strong, right?
Sure, but like in the real world, not to be a chauvinist pig, like women are never going to be that strong, right?
I mean, they can be.
No, absolutely not. Don't make me go full fucking conservative on you. Absolutely not. There's never going to be a woman of that strength or whatever. No, absolutely not. Within that armor and that sword or whatever, unless she's like fucking intersex, unless we're doing for the Olympics or whatever bullshit. No shot.
No, but I remember reading about a woman that was like 30 or even 40 years old, and she started working out of nowhere, and now she's like super buff and shit. Maybe she took steroids, but
yeah,
it can happen.
Yeah, I mean, but
I don't know if by the way, if I'm taking too much time, they can.
No, you're good. But like, hey, you know what? Listen, I'm glad. Hi.
If you want to
wait, hold on. Somebody's shooting at me a lot back here. Are you shooting at me?
Me?
No.
Oh.
I'm running. Good luck.
No, get out.
I don't trust this guy. Listen, I'm glad you're defending Brienne of Tarth, okay? But I think there are a lot of people who would say that this is like a very woke type character who is a woman who should never be as strong as she is. And for somebody who seemed ready to go one-on-one with the Mountain in like episode 2 or whatever, for Brienne of Tarth to defeat him.
I forgot how she exactly won, but like I'm sure she used her smarts.
No, it was a brutal one-on-one. At least in the show, maybe in the books it's different, but in the show it was no like clever trickery. It was just a fucking one-on-one, like long sword slugfest.
He's dumb as a rock, like pun intended.
It doesn't matter if he's dumb; he's a good fighter.
Guy is like he can barely move. He's like so slow and sluggish.
No, I think they're in the show they're smart about it. Even Oberyn, when he's talking to or not Oberyn, what's the name of the cutthroat? Bronn. When Bronn is talking to Tyrion about potentially fighting the Mountain for the whole trial by combat thing, like he literally says like the Mountain is huge, and for a guy that big, he's a lot faster than you think he'd be. And the Hound was ready to fight him in episode 2.
But he still caught him.
But he still what?
Okay, but the thing is, he still cut him. But the thing is, okay, so let me refocus. You were saying most things that went woke didn't go broke, but I'm saying they did, right? The Game of Thrones didn't really change much. It's like the thing is, Brienne of Tarth was there from the start, right? It didn't become woke at some point randomly.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. The things that suddenly became woke, that's where the issue lies. It's not with like new IPs. No one cares about new IPs if they're woke already. I don't think
I think people do care about. But, yeah, I think they do. But I think you just run into an issue. Yeah. You run into an issue, I think, where you have like everybody watches the old shit over and over and over again. And if you just tell anybody that wants to get involved in media now, well, if you're a woman or you're black or you're whatever, and you want to get involved in media, you have to make a whole new IP. Well, you're kind of fucked at that point. Now, aren't you kind of like gating a bunch of people out when?
I mean, I don't care if they join an established IP, but don't make the whole thing like around that part, right? Like I don't care if a new black person or whatever or trans joins the Lord of the Rings, that new series or whatever, but they made the whole series around this like female character and the trans people right? It's not like a small addition. It was the whole vibe of the whole story.
Yeah, and it might suck, right? It might. Does it suck because it is woke, or like do you think if they would have stuck like a man in that position, would it have been magically way better?
No. I think the thing is, I think they shoehorned not. What's the word I'm trying to say? Like, because they tried to focus on making it more woke, they had to invent a different story than what they originally had, right? So they had to make fit in their own agenda and their own political message, right? Otherwise, if they weren't constrained by this being woke, they could have made a better story. But because they were constrained, they had to make it this way. Right?
Fuck. It's hard for me without having played these fucking games. I can't like, because I really just need to have played them.
About the series.
Wait, which series? The Lord of the Rings one? Yeah, no, I haven't watched. I haven't watched that either. So, I'm not capable of. Right. I can't engage critically on it. I think I watched like 3 episodes with Melina like fucking 10 years ago, and it was just very boring to me. So I just didn't watch much more.
All right.
But people are saying that Galadriel is the strongest elf alive in the time of Lord of the Rings. Is that true? I don't even. I'm just parroting arguments from China. I haven't actually played or read any of this, so I can't.
Galadriel. I have to remember what the fuck who that person is.
Well, is that the elf that's starring in that Lord of the Rings miniseries?
God damn it! Why did I unmute your stream? I hate hearing my voice. Galadriel. Wait, that's a female. Oh, that's a. Wait, what are you saying? She's the strongest elf?
Wait. Hold on, real quick. Have you watched this Lord of the Rings miniseries?
Yeah, I watched the first season, not the second season.
Okay. Is it wasn't the main character, was it Galadriel?
Yeah, but I don't remember the names, bro. I'm pretty shit with names.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
What's an example of a really well-performing IP in your opinion that like refused to go woke or whatever? What do you think is like a good example of that?
What's the name? There was this new game that was like, I think the whole idea was about refusing to go woke. It was like fighting bugs, like America theme, the one like based off the movie.
Helldivers?
What's it called? Someone is gonna say it. Yes. No? Yeah, that's the one. That one's like all against being woke, I think. That's what it felt like, anyways.
Aren't people mad because that Tyler Robinson guy had like didn't that like kill fascists or whatever? Didn't that thing literally come from that video game? It's been a long time, bro. I don't remember this shit. People are saying Helldivers is literally like a parody of fascism, like that Bugs movie, like Starship Troopers.
Yeah, but it's like anti-woke. That's they were the whole thing. I remember they posted on Twitter like they're not gonna go woke and whatever. That's what you asked, no?
Yeah. Fuck, I just haven't played it, so I can't. People in chat are saying that this game is like a satire of like fascism. It's like people are saying it's like basically it's like an Antifa.
It is a satire, but yeah, it is a satire. But the thing is, it's like it's not woke. The whole thing was like they don't want to go woke. They didn't go woke.
Okay, I can't speak to it because I haven't played it. Fuck you, chat. I haven't played it, so I can't say.
Fake gamer. Wait, can I recommend one game to you? I don't know if it's in the single player game. It's called Tainted Grail: Fall of Avalon.
Jesus
it's like a mix
Christ.
of. You've seen it, right?
No, it sounds like the nerdiest fucking game alive. Go ahead, explain to me.
No, but it's super good. Also, it has a gay character, and it's still not that woke.
Okay.
It's like a mix of Skyrim and Elden Ring. It's super nice, man. It has a lot of like choices really matter. Like everything, like the story is heavily impacted in everything you do. Every character has a story behind it, and the voice acting is super nice.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. All right.
Where
You wanna ask me anything?
Fuck it, sure. Yeah, you said you had an unconventional opinion on Israel. What was that about? I'm just curious.
Yeah, no. I've been always against Hezbollah, the faction here. I think most.
I feel like most people in
really
Beirut and like north of there would have that opinion. No, or am I wrong on that?
Yeah, but even my mother and father, they're both Christian, and they were like big fans
of Hezbollah.
And I remember even in the war. Yeah.
Or do they live in Lebanon, or do they live in the United States?
No, Lebanon. No. We're all like they came from Syria, and we all live in Lebanon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait. When you say came from Syria, do you mean like fled from Syria like a decade ago, or like just came?
No, they came from Syria in 1994. Before that, they fled from Turkey. They were like Armenians originally, so their grandparents. They're basically Syrians. So they came to Lebanon.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so they were a big fan of Hezbollah, and I was like, I grew up to be, like them more, I guess. But I was very suspicious, and especially in 2019 when their thugs they came down on scooters and started to beat up protesters. I was like, no, that's fucked up. And now after they dragged us into this war, it's obviously very like they're just getting controlled by Iran, and it's like there's a lot of religious undertone to this whole. Like, no matter people, they're like, no, it's not the religious. It's more than that. It's bigger than that. No, I think it's just religious. I think there's a reason like Muslim people all over the globe are against like people that are not even close to this conflict at all. They're like super against Israel. Like whatever it is, they vote against it in the UN. Yeah, I think they're just it has a very religious undertone. Like it's the whole idea. Yeah.
Why are your parents pro Hezbollah or Hezbollah?
I think most people are like maybe the place we grew up in, but especially my mom. But yeah, they're both. I think he's the thing is Nasrallah, the guy that was a leader. The big rat, he was a very charismatic figure. Like people really liked him, right?
Sure. I think he did a lot of work in Lebanon to try to be liked as well. Like I'm pretty sure they tried to like distribute like food and give people places to live or like do stuff with like public infrastructure shit. I think
yeah, but we weren't of the people that benefit from that. He's just a very charismatic figure. Like his speeches and stuff, like people like that stuff, right? We didn't benefit at all from whatever. He mainly benefited his sect, the Shia, not us, right? So
well, was the impression across Lebanon? How old are you? Do you say? Or you don't have to dox yourself.
30.
30. So you were born in 93 or whatever, or
94?
Yeah, okay. Was the impression in Lebanon after 2006? Was it that was the impression that like Hezbollah saved Lebanon from Israel or protected Lebanon from Israel, or do you remember having a feeling about that at the time, or?
I remember going down to the place where Israel bombed the place and it was like everything is destroyed. But somehow I still remember, yeah, they I mean, they always say they're victorious. Like no matter how much shit gets pushed in, they always say that. Like even now, they're like, we won. They're just retarded. They're stupid people.
Wait, you're talking about Hezbollah or you're talking about Israel?
Hezbollah. No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No, Hezbollah.
So so was the impression after 2006? Was there more anger or hatred towards Israel, or more anger or hatred towards Hezbollah in your mind, or in your mind, like in the people around you? What was your feeling of that?
No. It's always there was always against. No. Most people here are not a fan of Israel, and I don't think they can even voice it.
Okay.
Right. Even if you are, because they're technically our enemy. You're not even allowed to talk to them. Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, they were just they were like Hezbollah did whatever. They're good people, and the thing is that 2006 war wasn't as cut and dry. Like I think, so Hezbollah got what they wanted. They got the prisoners, and they didn't fully retreat. But at the same time, Israel didn't really fully leave. They left the drones. So both sides didn't really win. But at the same time, like I said, even if they lost, Hezbollah is gonna say they're gonna win. They won.
Sure.
So,
I mean, I've never been there, and I don't have. Obviously, I wasn't alive around that, so I haven't really read stuff obviously about it. But like, my one impression I got was that Israel had tried a relatively controversial thing of, in 2006, was Israel straight bombing parts of Beirut. With the idea, with the understanding of, and the idea that like, well, as long as Israel drops leaflets and makes it known to the Lebanese people, like the only reason why we're attacking you is because of Hezbollah, it would make them hate Hezbollah. But I think that ended up not working. And my understanding in the reading is that just like the people of Lebanon just hated Israel even more for it, and nobody really thought of like Hezbollah as being the aggressors here, or that it was their fault or anything, and that it just fostered a ton of more resentment towards Israel than what even existed before. I just didn't know if that impression was different or not. But
yeah, I mean, technically, we've been at war with Israel since 1948, 49. So like, they were always our enemy, no matter what. No one's gonna be nice to them. Yeah, so I don't think anyone like even now it's sort of I would say like 40, maybe 30% are super against Hezbollah, and they're like with maybe they're silently cheering on Israel, but yeah, they can't say it, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and I think even if you're a fan here, like if you hate Hezbollah, it's kind of hard to say. There's only one TV channel here that actually says that stuff, and Hezbollah super hates them. Like you can't, like they don't let them go to their areas. They outright attack them. It's the MTV TV channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you live in do you travel a lot, or Do you mainly are you at where
No,
are
I
you at right
wish.
now?
Bro, like I told you, I'm like really close to the American embassy. I'm trying to get the visa to Germany, but
Oh, okay. Oh, you're in Lebanon now. I mean, yeah, that's right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, damn.
Yeah, bro, I've argued with a lot of fucking Redditors who are what's it called? What's the word? Expatriates. Yeah, it's like they're outside the
Yeah, we
country.
call it, yeah.
Somehow, the biggest fans of Hezbollah are the ones that are outside the country. They're like cheering them on. Of course, you're gonna cheer them on. You're not gonna face the consequences. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it was like
they're
support
like,
for
keep fighting.
Support for Hamas dropped the most in the Gaza Strip compared to the West Bank after October 7th and the invasion, everything. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Like when they're not there, like most Western, I don't know, like these, people in the leftists, wherever they are, they're far away. They're like, all of them are against Israel, and they're like, in a very stupid manner. They don't know anything about the conflict here.
Sure.
But they're like, they just, by default, they cheer them on, right? They don't even look into it. Yeah.
What do you guys think of Turkey? What do you think the average Lebanese person thinks of Turkey?
Well, that highly depends if you're Armenian or no Armenian people.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people don't really care. Even Armenians, I don't know if they really care that much. But there's a Remembrance Day of the Armenian genocide we do here, and we have like a bunch of "fuck Turkey" on the walls everywhere on the street, and we have a walk. So if you ask an Armenian, they'll be like, "Yeah, they don't like Turkey." But like, I think most Lebanese people don't really care. Yeah.
What are the feelings about the deposing of Assad, of him fleeing the country? Is that seen as generally a good thing or a bad thing, or?
Yeah, I think it's been generally good. Because Assad has been like, I guess you don't know this, but like, they've kidnapped a lot of Lebanese people and tortured them. They've had. I don't know if you've ever had the free time. You should look up how the kind of torture they've done. It's extremely inhumane stuff. Like no one really liked him. Like,
yeah, I'm aware of Assad. Yeah, but I'm also my understanding is also that I just lost it.
Especially here in Lebanon. So the thing is,
when you say that you don't like when you say that people are fans of like Hezbollah or whatever, that's interesting to me because my understanding is that Hezbollah worked like basically arm in arm with Assad when it came to the repression of the civil population or fighting wars or defending the Assad regime.
People are stupid. They don't know.
Okay, so it's interesting that you're saying that they all like hated Assad, but they seem to be generally favorable of Hezbollah. That's interesting to me. I wouldn't have guessed that, but.
Yeah, maybe the Shia, they were like more a fan of Assad, but I don't think most people connect these dots. Like whatever Hezbollah did outside of the country is like it might as well not exist.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I can understand that. So here's a take that I have that I feel. You can tell me if you feel like this is wrong or right. So in the West, man, we talk so much about, and I even used to do this. Now I cringe. Like Sunni Shia divide, Sunni Shia divide, Sunni Shia divide. In studying just like Israel, and then kind of looking modernly like what's going on across like the Middle East, like it feels like it just comes down more to like geographically where are you, and then like kind of who are the enemies around you. What are you interested in? That there's not like this broad like Shia unification across all Shia Muslims, and then all Sunni Muslims are with each other or whatever. Is that? Do you guys think about that or talk about that, or is that like a feeling you have like, oh, they're Shia or they're Sunni or whatever? Is that like a thing that even comes up or?
Yeah, that does come up a lot. Especially like in Beirut. If someone says they're Beiruti, like they're from Beirut, they're considered Sunni, and then but there's like, there's a lot of issues. My ex-girlfriend was a Sunni, and I remember her dad was like, he was like so relieved that I'm not Shia. Like he's okay with Christian, but he's not okay with Shia because like there's like bad blood between them, and they live right next to each other in Beirut. So yeah, there's that everywhere.
Beirut, what's the majority Muslim population? Is it split or is it Sunni Shia? Do you know? Is it about or?
I guess it's pretty split.
Okay.
I guess it's really split. I've never really looked into it, but each really takes their own. So for the most part, each takes their own region. They take their own areas, but the poor people all live together. So there's like a lot of poor Christian, Sunni, Shia together, and they're pretty tolerant of each other because they're all of the same class, I guess, right?
Gotcha.
But in middle class and higher class, they're more split.
Do people are the same people that like hated Assad? Do you think that they felt? How do they feel about like Iran or like the Ayatollah or whatever? Do they link these as like Shia things, or are they just like totally different entities in their mind?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so the same.
No, if they're Shia, they do that, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They link them. They're like a fan of him, but it's the same with Saudi Arabia. It's like each religion has their own like country, and they're a big fan of it. And yeah, anything that the country does, they condemn if they're like of the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
It's always there's a lot of dumb people, right? I feel like this religious conflict. I guess you already know what I think, but like yeah, this religious conflict, I don't care for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wait.
All right, I feel like there's a lot of people waiting there. You wanna drag one of them in? Oh wait, no, they moved. There's only 2 people, but I guess, yeah.
I didn't even have anything. Fuck. Whatever. Okay. Well, hold on. I'm trying to think if there are any other questions that I can mine you for information for. Hold on. No, I can't think of anything.
All right.
Okay.
No worries.
All right. Oh, somebody in chat donated and they asked me to ask you, Destiny, can you ask this guy, the current end boss in WoW, who he is right now? I don't believe this guy even plays the game at this point.
Retail, I don't know. I told you I don't play retail. I play classic. I play an anniversary. Right now I'm prepping for TBC.
Yikes.
Yeah, no, I don't play retail. I stopped after Legion.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Well, that chatter wanted to know.
All right.
All right. Well, hey,
All right,
thanks for coming and chatting. I appreciate it, buddy.
Cheers. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, buddy, you're next. What's up?
Hey man, I guess you're having a lot of the Arabs or Arab origin people.
Am I? Well, I had one.
From North Africa, so
You're from North?
wasn't there.
Oh, fuck. I wanted to ask the guy how he learned English. You said you're from North Africa?
Yeah. So I mean, I disagree with this guy about like.
Wait, are you
woke
allowed to
stuff.
say like Morocco or Tunisia? Are you allowed to say where? Or?
Oh yeah, from Morocco.
Okay. All right. What did you come here to talk about? What's up?
I mean, there's not much to talk about, like in terms of, I guess, video games or whatever you talked to the other guy about. But, I guess I disagree with them when it comes to like woke stuff in video games. I don't really care about that shit.
Oh.
But when it comes to Asmongold's take, I feel like you've been more cucked compared to Asmon on foreign policy nowadays.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I feel like the Maduro stuff should be good, like should be celebrated, I guess, by most people. Like, I guess, or disagreeing about the consequences of it should be a different thing, but...
I think there's 3 huge paradigms that I'm having trouble with this from. So the first one is... So this is boring because nobody will own the position, and I understand this, whatever. I'm not accusing you, I guess, of not doing it. But so the first one is that this was supposed to be the president of peace. He said no new wars, and I don't know if this is actually true, but I read a comment the other day that Trump has bombed more countries in 1 year than any president in all of U.S. history, because he's bombed like 8 different countries apparently so far. It was like fucking Sudan and Nigeria and Syria and Iran and Venezuela, and there were like 3 in Yemen. There were like 2 others past that this guy's just been on a tear like everywhere. And that maybe on Somalia and one more. So one is just kind of from the general hypocrisy thing. So was the no new wars thing was that just bullshit? Was that a lie, or what? I don't understand. And it's made me uncomfortable that he was elected on that platform, and people were very critical about U.S. involvement in wars, even when it just came to sending money, so like Ukraine or Israel. And so, but now everybody's like on board with like I guess as many new wars as Trump wants. So that was the first thing that bothered me. But I guess if you don't have that position initially of the no new wars, then...
I mean, I guess, like I said, I understand it from, like, I guess, like a domestic policy if you want to hold them accountable, I guess. But I feel like, in general, like, I feel like it's a good thing for, like, U.S. foreign policy.
Okay.
Like, as a hegemon.
The second thing, okay, I'll skip to the third thing real quick. The second thing would have just been from a domestic point of view. I don't know if you say domestic, but like from a legal point of view, everything you did was like very questionable. But skipping to the third thing, from a foreign policy point of thing, so Maduro, I think, is a bad guy. I mean, I've ever heard about him and seen about him. I agree that he's a bad guy. But just because somebody's a bad guy doesn't make it a good idea to do like violent enforced regime change I don't know why you'd think that would be like, that's like the go-to for people that we think are, you know, dictators or non-democratic.
I mean, I guess I'm thinking about it in terms of like geopolitics. I feel like if like you get like a more U.S. friendly player in the region for Venezuela, like you can have way higher oil output. Like it helps undermine like OPEC, like bullshit.
But I mean, OPEC is already an ally to the U.S. Why would we want to undermine them? Number one, and then number two, are we just like?
I mean, not generally, I don't think they align 100%. Like sometimes the U.S. does not, like it doesn't favor the U.S. When it comes to prices. Like,
I think
like
OPEC is OPEC is heavily. I think OPEC is heavily in the U.S. pocket right now. I think OPEC is definitely like seen as like U.S. friendly. I would say, but let's assume that they're not. Let's say it's 50-50. Aren't you basically giving the idea that we should just go and invade any country and get rid of their leadership, and we can install a new leader that's friendly to the United States? Like, isn't this literally the lefty criticism of U.S. foreign policy, like the straw man position, except now like it's actually happening?
I mean, I guess I don't put too much weight on what the left says because they're fucking retarded, but...
Okay, let's ignore the left thing. Should it really be the U.S. foreign policy position that we're going to start deposing leaders of other countries and then installing U.S. faithful leadership?
I mean, I agree for most times, but I feel like Venezuela is exceptional because, like, so much, like, oil there's just, like, wasting, rotting away. It's like no one's benefited from it. Like, it's not playing anything.
Sure.
Like, it's not doing anything at a global stage.
Okay, but so if there are resources there, the United States can go and just take it over?
I mean, I don't think... like I said, I think it's because Venezuela is too like, exceptional. Like, it's, like, the highest oil reserves in the world. Why do you just let that just rot forever like that?
Okay, let's say theoretically, let's say the countries in South America began to unite with each other in terms of recognizing they have similar geopolitical interest, and then started to allow Chinese or Russian soldiers, bases, or intelligence assets into their country in order to engage in what they would consider defensive measures. And now the United States has hostile regimes setting up military bases in the continent to the south of us. With the U.S., I don't think would have a moral right to oppose. Do you think that that is problematic? That would lead to like escalations and tensions across?
Could you say that again? I didn't hear the last part.
Do you think that would be a bad thing?
I mean, I guess, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, yeah. I mean, I guess I agree, like, on, like, the consequences, that's what I said. But, like, I feel like for the specific case of Maduro being caught, like, I feel like I don't have a problem with it.
Do we just... Are we just go? Do we want to go back to the? Hold on.
Okay, let's say you can get like a better deal with this new government, like, but it's not gonna be like someone that's like a U.S. puppet, so to speak. It's gonna be more favorable for the U.S. Wouldn't that be like a better?
No. Like in the very short term, in a very short-sighted manner, it could be, but. Do we want to go back to a world where people are just like invading other countries and installing loyal dictators and doing things to benefit them and being extractionist and having a world set up where it's just like the strongest countries rule all the other countries around them? Is that the world that we want to go back to?
I mean, I feel like we never left that world, did we? Like,
who was the last big country to conquer somebody besides Russia and Ukraine?
I mean, that's kind of what I'm referring to, but.
Well, that's the big argument against the Russian invasion into Ukraine.
I feel like you have different players now. Like, you don't have, like, the usual, like, hegemons like China. I feel like you have, like, smaller countries like Saudi Arabia and stuff, like, playing interests. Like, they are, like, arming and, like, I guess, undermining regimes in their respective regions.
Yeah, but they're doing it but they have to do it that way because those are, like, but that's technically, arguably, a better world. Like, it sounds weird, but like if you have people who are engaged in proxy wars with each other, it shows that the world has moved on from direct wars with each other. So it's even though it's weird, it's like an improvement, right? like people who are using microaggressions against people or using like racial slurs against people might be seen as a bad thing. But the fact that we're calling them racial slurs and they're not just lynching people is actually an improvement in things, right? It's kind of weird as that sounds.
I mean, I feel like I don't disagree with you. Like if the U.S. like handles this poorly, like awfully, I feel like I would agree with you. But I feel like I'm just like more of a wait and see approach, and I feel like actually catching like a dictator that's like basically illegitimate in most ways. Most people admit that he's illegitimate. I feel like it's not that bad of a thing.
Do you think that the U.S. should go in and depose anybody who's an illegitimate leader of a country, or do you think just because Venezuela has oil, you think it justifies that?
Again, Venezuela, like when I referred to oil, is meant from like a geopolitics perspective. But again, there's like no, like I'm just theoretically saying that. But fuck, what was your question earlier? You said something about
Can I ask how old you are? Am I able to ask that, or are you private about that?
I'm like 27.
Here. This is the issue that I'm having. Okay. I'll think about this after stream today because I don't know how to approach these types of conversations. I feel like a lot of people right now on the planet have grown up. It's that meme of like, it's the stupid fucking meme of the weak times create or bad times create strong men create good times create weak men create bad times or whatever, or that, like it's that meme. I feel like everybody right now thinks that invading countries and taking shit over is like based and awesome and cool because we deposed a dictator and that's cool and that's awesome and it's just a simple, easy, clean thing. But it's just mind-blowing to me because however bad Maduro was, I think Saddam Hussein was potentially as bad or worse. The only difference being that I think Maduro probably took Venezuela from a higher high to a low, whereas Saddam Hussein was just fucking horrible. But like Saddam Hussein was a very, very, very fucking bad guy. And the idea that we should just go around the world opposing bad guys and, you know, that'll just be super swell and A-okay and everything from that will result to just be, you know, like that'll be fine. It's just so painfully naive to me in so many different ways. I don't even know like how to attack the thing. I think that people are underestimating the response from the rest of the world, especially South America. Like in the United States, we don't learn anything about history because because we don't. But like in the United States, our big points of history are like World War II and then like civil rights and then like, I don't know, I guess like landing on the moon in 1969. These are like things we learn in U.S. history. I don't even think we learn about South America or that much of the Cold War. We learn like the Cuban Missile Crisis. But for a lot of South American countries, like U.S. involvement with their country or how the U.S. has engaged with their country is like defining points of these countries' history. So the idea that the United States is just going to go back to deposing leadership that they don't like or deposing leadership if they think they can extract a ton of resources from you, I just think that just leads to so many bad potential outcomes that the idea that we should expect all of us to just go splendidly that's just so crazy to me, especially considering that, going back to my first point, the hypocrisy thing, especially considering that so many of the people who were supporting Trump and even Trump himself were on this whole like, well, I said that Iraq was bad from day one and Iraq was bad. Well, why was Iraq bad? Well, Iraq was bad because we did nation building. But what is everybody saying about Venezuela now? Oh, well, it wasn't a real war. We were in and out in 3 hours. What do you want to do afterwards? Well, we want to set up long-term infrastructure there so that we can extract oil from Venezuela. That's nation building. That's the plan. In Iraq, I don't even think nation building was necessarily the plan. But now the plan for Venezuela is the exact thing that we said we hated about what happened with Iraq. And it's just so, I just hate that idea of a world where everybody's invading people and kidnapping world leaders. And that's just like a horrible world to live in. That's just crazy to me. Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I agree with you when it comes to like MAGA being fucking flippant and like not having any real, like, I guess positions on anything. It's just like, yeah. I don't defend those people or Trump for that matter. I just feel like the actual action itself was good, even if the perpetrator is bad or like the people celebrating.
Well, we have to factor all of that in, right? Don't we? Like, Trump is not the guy to do anything for the benefit of Venezuelans. Like, I think that's not good.
I would agree with you, yeah. I feel like I would be more comfortable if it was, like, I guess like a better leader or leader that I consider good.
Yeah, or anybody that had the benefit. But even so, a leader like that wouldn't choose to depose a foreign ruler unilaterally, especially because in the United States, and I think that even though this seems like just a domestic thing in the U.S., I think politically other world leaders take this into account. This was all done at the behest of a U.S. president with no input from Congress. That makes things even scarier because now that you know the U.S. has the potential for a singular leader to do this, you're not even looking to the U.S. democratic system or to the U.S. Congress or U.S. public opinion. It's literally just the dictator of the U.S., the president, who can send the military wherever to kidnap another world leader. I think that's even more scary.
Yeah, fair enough.
I also think there's something to be said for, like, one of the reasons why Putin, I think, invaded Ukraine, and one of the reasons why he likes Belarus, and he hated Ukraine, and one of the reasons why he really hated in 2014, when Ukraine was going to go in the direction of EU markets, is because one of the things that autocratic regimes fear, I think Putin fears it, are successful, thriving democracies next door. Because then the people in your country start to look at you kind of weird. We're like, well, what the fuck? Well, hell, hold on. They don't need the military beating them up in the streets, and they don't need this like top-down oligarchical control of like the media and resources and everything else. Like, they seem to be doing okay. Well, why the fuck? And as far as Ukraine, what the fuck? Why can't we do that here in Russia or whatever? You know, I think that these types of things worry leaders. But then when I look to Trump's position in the United States, bro, he makes enemies out of everybody. Why did we cancel? Obama was finally making it so we could do flights to Cuba again. Why the fuck did we cancel that? Why are we still like fighting with Cuba? Or why are we fighting with the Mexican president? Why do we like I don't know, like he's setting up the stage to fight more with other world leaders and he's threatening even fucking Greenland and Canada. Like, what the fuck?
I guess like another thing that I feel off about when it comes to like the reaction to this is also like I feel like Russia kind of is doing the same in Ukraine, like, but like they got way less backlash for it. At this point, initially, sure, like the entire world condemned them and stuff, but like at this point, I feel like it tapered off and no one kind of gives a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from that perspective, I feel like the, I guess, imperialist, like criticism of it kind of falls flat on me at this point, because I feel like the superpowers are doing that already, even before this happened. Like China's doing it with Taiwan too.
Not yet, but I understand what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. Any other thoughts or ideas?
Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, I guess there was Iran too, but I don't know your actual position on that.
Hold on. Okay, one sec. We'll do Iran. A lot of people in chat are calling you retarded right now. So, unfortunately, I actually fully agree about the Russia-Ukraine thing. This is one of the things that I said when Russia mega invaded Ukraine, was that if the response to that was not like a swift, brutal, like over the top, like this can never happen, then you end up creating a world where people kind of feel like countries can invade other countries and it's like not that big of a deal. For people saying that the world is treating it like a big deal, they're really not. There's like a sovereign, massive state that is invading another country, taking land away from them, and the leader of the free world, the United States, is trying to make negotiations to have Ukraine surrender that power. It is literally the most cocked fucking position the United States of America could ever take when it comes to conflict with an enemy that we've arguably already defeated in the past in a 50-year protracted economic cultural war. So I think it's super sad and it's fucked. There was a response, quote unquote, response to the Russian invasion, but it was nowhere near, in my opinion, what it should have been. But okay, sorry. For what do I think about Iran? More specifically, the bombing. I think that bombing Iran to get rid of nuclear weapons is fine. I don't think that Iran should have nuclear weapons. I don't even think I was necessarily against the Trump admin doing that. My issue with Trump has always been, and with this administration, is a lot of them, Trump himself is an idiot, so he doesn't have like a mind for politics, and he doesn't have a cohesive, coherent plan for the Middle East or for any part of the world. So there's always going to be these factions, either in DC, in the White House, the Kremlin, in these other countries, in Israel, that are trying to control where the U.S. is moving and what the U.S. is doing. And that's the only thing I don't like about that. If anybody would have bombed Iran to keep them off nuclear weapons, I'm probably almost always going to support that, because Iran with nuclear weapons is no bueno. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was gonna ask about something more recent actually. Like he's posturing to like I guess intervene during the Iran protests and like he's taking pictures with ground.
I don't think. I don't know enough about the situation on the ground in Iran to give an informed response to that. I'll say, in a very general level, one thing you have to be careful of is you don't want to be seen as undermining a local resistance, especially if those people are capable of doing it on their own, because then you become very easy to ostracize and people will look at you as just being like a tool of an imperial foreign power, and then it undermines the entire revolution or protest you're trying to do. Like, I think I didn't follow every country. I'm sorry. For Morocco, you guys generally did okay after the Arab Spring, right? You guys had your constitutional referendum. I think most of the other countries around you guys kind of mad for a little bit. I don't know if you guys are fucked by everybody or what was the ultimate outcome from that? 2012.
I mean, the king just like made some constitutional changes, but it wasn't like a big deal. Just like
Okay, I think that like if a thing like that happens and the United States comes and they try to support like all of your people on the ground, I think it undermines the local protesters or revolutionaries quite a bit, and that could be a really bad thing. And I don't trust Trump to have the benefit. Trump doesn't have the people in mind on the ground. He doesn't have the people of America in mind. I don't even think he has the United States in mind. It's just his own narcissistic drive. So.
yeah, just to like I guess like I don't know, like elucidate on that. I feel like the main reason why like Arab Spring failed here is not because generally of the changes. The changes did barely anything. The king still like he's still like has most of his powers. It's just like
is the Arab Spring seen as having failed in Morocco? I thought that generally it moderated a bit.
No, it was a failure.
It was a failure. Okay,
nothing. Like I said, like the king just kept most of his powers, which is like I feel like a good thing because I feel like democracy here does not work. But
wait,
yeah.
what do you mean by that, or why not?
Because people just vote in like Islamist retards and just fuck up the country.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like the main reason it failed is because like they saw the consequences of the Arab Spring in other countries, so people just like kind of I'd rather have like a stable country rather than like a
I think I was thinking of Tunisia,
like
you're
Syria
right, sorry.
or whatever.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, I feel like for Iran, maybe it's about time like someone intervened because I feel like whenever these protests pop up, they kind of just get curbed and just like everyone gets murdered and no one.
Apparently Tunisia got
people
fucked
just
too.
move
So
on, business as usual.
Sure. Well, I mean, okay. Well, anything else you got for me, or wait, where? How are you? Do you live in Morocco now?
Yeah.
Where did you learn to speak English?
I just learned it. Like I just watched a lot of U.S. media, so.
Did you go to like an international school or anything, or?
Nah, just like locally, just local education. I have a BA, but that's about it.
Wait, do Moroccans speak Arabic?
Yeah, Arabic, primary language, and secondary is like French. But a decent amount of people speak some English. Not as good as mine, but...
Speak something in Arabic for us.
Like, what do you want me to say?
Tell me how your day went today.
Wait, my whole day? What do you mean?
Like 2 sentences, I don't know.
تكلمت مع ديستني اليوم. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Does he sound Arabic, guys? Is this an imposter? Okay, I believe you.
Wait, what do you mean? Okay, just give me something to translate. That's way simpler than like reciting my entire day.
Well, not just like I woke up, I ate breakfast, I watched the thing on the computer.
Yeah, استفقت النوم وأكلت. Okay, speaking of which, by the way, we use a completely different Arabic. We use like Derija.
Sure. Isn't this true of like a ton of Arab countries? They all speak kind of like pretty heavily different dialects of Arabic or whatever.
Yeah, but here it's like exceptional. It's like not even intelligible to most Muslims or like Arab speakers, I guess. Like Tunisia and Algeria and Morocco have like very unique dialects.
Okay.
Because they're like mostly like Berberized Arabic, basically.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I mean, your English sounds very like I would believe it if you just said you were American. So I was curious.
Yeah, I just listen a lot to U.S. media, so.
Okay. Well, thanks for chatting. Have fun. Be careful.
Yeah, good to talk to you.
Bye.
Later, man.